Hi there, James Savage from National Club Golfer. Today I want to bring you my review of the brand new PXG 0311 Gen 2 Irons. Normally I'd have the clubs here with me, but PXG do things a little bit differently to other brands. They don't like to just hand out their clubs out willy-nilly. They insist that you go and get a proper custom fitting to be able to review them properly and get the full PXG experience, if you like. So I've just got back from travelling down to Northamptonshire County Golf Club, where I went through a full fitting with one of their expert fitters called Matt Strawn. It was a really fantastic in-depth fitting process. So I was actually able to test and review these new irons within a sort of fitting environment. So I was obviously getting into the right shafts and lofts and lies and all that sort of thing, and then being able to pass comment on what I felt about these irons. So first things first, these new irons from PXG, they follow on from their original 0311 irons. So the sort of clues in the name really that these are a second generation of those irons, and we've actually got 4 models now in these irons. We had 3 before. So we've got a T for Tour, again sort of does what it says on the tin. P for Players, just ever so slightly sort of larger and more forgiving than the Tour. Then we've got an XF, which is the extra forgiving or extra forgiveness model, and then we've got the all new one, which is the SGI for Super Game Improvement. Okay, so just a little bit on the technology in these new irons. Now you have to appreciate that these irons are very expensive. They're made with premium materials. There are lots of clever technology that's going on in these clubs, so they are going to set you back round about £240 per iron. So you're looking at a full set of irons getting up towards £2,000. So that's probably double what you'd expect maybe from some of the market leading brands. But like I say, very similar technology that we've seen in their original irons, but they've just been slightly refined this time around. So they've got premium soft carbon forged construction on these heads. They're sort of hollow heads, but then they're filled with like an elastomer material, which helps improve the sound and feel. Like I said, PXG are saying these irons have improved on the original models. They're saying they're going to be a little bit hotter off the face. Got their thinnest ever face on these irons, so they're going to launch the ball a little bit higher. They say they're a little bit sleeker, thinner top line, better turf interaction. So they just took a really good product in the 0311 iron, which came out about 3 years ago. They've just refined it, tweaked the technology, and they say the end result is the best iron that they've ever made, and what they would say is like the best iron that you can actually get on the market. Okay, so how do these irons actually perform? Are they worth that hefty price tag? Well, that's not really for me to say, but I'll just tell you a little bit about my experience that I found from them, through my actual fitting. And the first thing that I would like to say, the fitting was absolutely superb. So when I actually got dialed in, to the right shaft and with the right lie angles, I was able to then, make good swings, hit good shots, and get the full benefit of these irons, if you like. So I actually got fitted into the 0311 Gen 2 P model, like the players model, in the pitching wedge, 9 iron and 8 iron, and then in the 7 iron, 6 iron and 5 iron, I went into the XF model. And as you can see from some of the TrackMan numbers that we've got there, from the 7 iron of the XF model, they were really, really good for me. Absolutely up there with any of the other irons that I've tested out so far this year, or even ever really. I've got some there carrying up to, with a 7 iron, up to 160 yards, which is really, really good numbers for me with a 7 iron. But the beauty of these irons that I found was that they are just such good fun to hit. There's a really nice sound and feel off the face, which is what you'd expect. They're really, really forgiving, and the ball flight was excellent. But it wasn't just the club that, the club head that was producing those good numbers. It was that combination of the club head and the right shaft. I hit the ball high, too high at times, and I'm worried about that, and I kind of want to keep my ball flight down at times. And with that XF head, it is a sort of a high launching head, but with the shaft that was controlling the spin, I was just able to get really, really good numbers. So I was able to launch it nice and high, but with that spin being quite low, you know, the ball was still moving forwards, getting, you know, really good numbers, as you can see on the screen. In conclusion, I don't mean to go on about it too much, but I'm going to anyway. But, you know, the fitting is absolutely essential. They don't just want people going and spending, you know, X amounts of money on a set of clubs, buying them off the shelf, testing them out, and then thinking that the clubs aren't actually all that because they haven't been fitted properly. So that's why PXG are 100% committed to getting you dialed into their irons properly. And, you know, the benefits are there, you know, there to be seen. When I did get dialed in, you know, these irons were, you know, as good as anything, you know, that I hit. And another thing for me, I was actually fit into a split set of irons with the P model in the shorter irons and the XF model in the longer irons, and that doesn't actually happen. You think, you know, I go through a lot of fittings for a lot of the major manufacturers, and I still often go into just the, you know, I just get a set from sort of 4 to pitching wedge. But it was actually when you go through the fitting process in this level of detail, like I did with PXG, then I wasn't actually surprised to see that, you know, I've been fitted into a set where each iron within that set, you know, is doing a particular job. And that was really refreshing for me to actually get, you know, fit into those two different models. And again, it highlights the emphasis that PXG put on their fitting, and it also for me highlighted just how nicely you can actually blend all these, you know, iron models together. I was really impressed with the clubs and the fitting process. I think hopefully that's been portrayed within this video. Sorry I don't have the clubs here with me, but we've seen some footage for me getting fitted where I got the clubs in my hands, and you just have to take my word for it that they are absolutely fantastic. So please post some comments below. Have you ever hit PXG clubs before? Have you got any more questions about PXG clubs? Do you want help trying to find somewhere where you can maybe go and get fitted, or, you know, find a demo day, something like that? Post us all those questions below. We hope you enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.